Sometimes life has a way of sneaking past us quietly. One moment you're chasing toddlers with peanut butter on their faces, and the next you're standing in a quiet kitchen, wondering how the house got so still, wondering how your body became unfamiliar. I'm wondering when you started feeling like a background character in your own life. And yet, here you are, still breathing, still becoming, still trying to make sense of this chapter that no one really prepared you for. You see, aging isn't a failure. It's not a decline or a closing act. It's a deepening, a softening, a chance to meet yourself, maybe for the very first time. But the truth is, many people in their 70s carry silent regrets. Not the loud, dramatic ones you see in movies, but quiet aches that show up in the middle of the night, in the pauses between conversations, in the mirror sometimes. These regrets often go unspoken, not because they're shameful, but because older adults are so used to being strong for others. They forget how to speak gently to themselves. Maybe you felt it too, like the regret of not taking care of your body sooner. You look back and realize how much time you spent being critical of yourself, the shape of your thighs, the softness of your belly, the way your skin changed. And now, perhaps with joints that ache or energy that comes and goes, you find yourself wishing you'd loved your body not just for how it looked, but for everything it helped you survive. Or maybe it's the regret of emotional distance, the long stretches of silence between you and someone you once loved deeply. A spouse, a child, a sibling. Life got busy. Feelings went unspoken. And now there's a space that feels hard to cross. You think about calling, you think about apologizing, but pride or fear or habit keeps you quiet. Let me tell you about Martha and Glenn. They were married for 42 years, shared 4 kids, 2 mortgages, and 1 dog who lived way too long. Glenn worked long hours. Martha held everything together at home. They were a team. But somewhere around year 35, they stopped really talking. Not because they didn't love each other, but because life had trained them to survive, not connect. Then one winter morning, Glenn had a health scare, chest pains that turned out to be minor, but scary enough to shake something loose. That evening, wrapped in the same old wool blanket they used to cuddle under when they were newlyweds, Glenn whispered, "I'm sorry I stopped seeing you." Martha cried. Not because of the word, but because for the first time in years she felt seen again. Since then, they've been different. Not perfect. Not suddenly romantic teenagers, but present. They eat breakfast at the table again. They take slow walks without checking their phones. They've learned to hold each other's hands without needing a reason. It wasn't too late for them. And it's not too late for you either. Because another regret many people carry is thinking they waited too long to start something, a passion project, a dream, a new connection. They tell themselves, that was for a younger version of me. But the truth is, most things worth doing don't have an expiration date. You can write your book at 73. You can fall in love at 68. You can take dance lessons at 75 and laugh the whole time. The only deadline that truly matters is the one we don't know the day we no longer have time to try. And while we're being honest, many women regret how little they were told about menopause, how it wasn't just about hot flashes, but about losing something quietly sacred. A shift in hormones, yes, but also a shift in identity. A goodbye to something intangible. Fertility may end, but femininity does not. Sensuality does not. You are still a whole woman, softer, wiser, still worthy of tenderness and touch. For men, the silence around aging can be even heavier. Erectile dysfunction, for example, is not just physical. It affects confidence, self-worth, intimacy, and yet it's whispered about, or worse, ignored. But you're not broken, you're not failing, you're adapting. Your body is changing, not betraying you. And desire? It doesn't leave, it evolves. It becomes less about urgency and more about emotional depth, more about connection than climax. There's nothing shameful about that. But here's the real heartache. Too many people regret not saying what needed to be said. I love you. I'm sorry. I miss you. You hurt me. I forgive you. They wait and wait until the person is gone or the moment is past. So let this be your invitation. Say it now, even if your voice shakes. Especially if your voice shakes. And if you felt like your value has faded with age because you're no longer working or raising children or part of the busy noise of life, please hear this. You are not invisible. You are not done. You are not a burden. You are still becoming. The world still needs your wisdom, your softness, your slow, steady presence. There's a younger version of you, somewhere deep inside, still full of wonder, still worthy of joy. Let's talk about Sarah. She lost her husband in her early 60s. They'd been together since college. For 2 years after he passed, she barely left the house. People checked in less and less. The silence became her companion. But one day, her granddaughter asked if she wanted to come to a watercolor class at the local community center. Sarah didn't think she was artistic, but she went, just to sit with her granddaughter. That first class changed her life, not because she became a great painter, but because she felt something stir, a part of herself she hadn't touched in decades: color, playfulness, expression. Now, at 72, Sarah teaches beginner painting to widows and widowers. She calls it color therapy. They don't talk about grief directly, but the laughter, the paint splatters, the quiet support that heals something. It reminds them they're still here, still alive, still worthy of joy. You are too. If there's one regret I hope you never have, it's believing that it's too late to feel again. Yes, your body has changed. Yes, your energy may not be what it once was. But your heart, your spirit, they are still luminous. Let go of the shame. The shame around your body, your aging skin, your changing needs. You don't owe anyone youth. You don't have to fit into old genes or old expectations. You've earned the right to rest, to soften, to receive love instead of always giving it. You've held others together your whole life. Now it's your turn to be held by people, by time, by grace. And if you need help, emotionally or physically, please don't suffer in silence. Therapy isn't weakness, it's strength. Vulnerability isn't scary, it's free. You deserve care all the way through. Maybe tonight when the house is quiet, you'll pour a warm drink and sit by a window. Maybe you'll remember a younger version of yourself full of dreams. Maybe you'll whisper something kind to that version. And maybe, just maybe, you'll forgive yourself for the things you didn't know back then. You did the best you could with what you had. Now you have a chance to live differently. Softer, slower, but no less meaningful. Because this chapter, it matters. And so do you. If this video stirred something in you, if it made you feel seen or understood, or a little less alone, I gently ask you to like it, share it with someone who may need these words, and subscribe to The Age of Beauty. Because you deserve a space where aging is not feared, but honored. Where stories are shared without shame, and where love, real, deep human love, never runs out. We're here for you, and we always will be.